guys, welcome back to Keeping It Central, and on today's episode we're going to be talking about
COVID-19 and how it affects us. COVID-19 has had a significant impact on everyone, and today we're going to be talking about the effects it has had on us.
Yeah, like how we haven't seen each other in forever.
I think it's really affected everyone because everyone's like lacking that social interaction. I think especially with friends and family, and you're stuck in the house all the time. It's just
you really value your outings a lot more, like going out to the shops or like going to the park or like seeing people. It's so exciting now compared to before. It was just a given. It was just a regular thing that was happening.
Yeah, I definitely think I can definitely value seeing like people now, even just like going to the shops. Just being able to just see people, really.
Yeah, it's a bit strange going to the shops though, because like you have to wear your masks, and like everyone's like being precautious, but at the same time they don't want to be rude, and it's like it's really different. Like before, I just walk into the shop and buy like a bottle of milk and go home, but now it's like you go into the shop and
getting just what you need, really. You get your full shop and then you go. Don't just go over just to get a packet of sweets or
it's like you don't just turn up at the shop now. It's like it's like an event. It's a trip. Like you go to the shop, you get what you need, and it's like I think it's a bit nerve-wracking really, because I went to the shops yesterday and I was worried, like what was if someone that had the virus came and touched this and they didn't know they had the virus? Yeah,
because you don't know if someone has had COVID-19, so
exactly,
and you don't know whether you'll be able to pass it.
Exactly, because it's it's invisible. It's even more like nerve-wracking because it's not even something that you can see. It's not like your face turns purple. It's like you can't see it. You don't even know if you got it straight away.
Yeah,
it's just quite nerve-wracking.
And I think it's really strange wearing like face masks. Yeah, and like it's just really like changed. Everything's changed, really.
Yeah, and you have to remember it's not like you can just quickly run out and like, you know,
got your phone, got your keys.
Yeah, you can't do that. You have to remember your mask. Like there's compartments in like my mum's car with like face masks in, and like have to keep one in like each of my bags, and you just have, it's a necessity now. Whereas before, I remember like when I leave the house, I get my phone, my earphones, and my lip gloss. But now it's like phone, earphones, lip gloss, face mask, and maybe some hand gel as well.
Yeah, hand sanitizer. Yeah. When you come back for the shop, you have to wash all your food and everything. Yeah, I think it's really strange. And even just like when you're in like, if you're in the shop and you have eye contact with someone, and you like say, I don't know, you smile or. Yeah, you just won't be able to see your facial expression. It's just quite strange.
Your eyes just look smaller, don't they? Yeah. It just looks like you're closing your eyes when you're smiling at someone. But yeah, it's different. It is difficult to like have interactions with people that you don't know, because before you could like smile, or you could just give them like, do you know what I mean? Like, when you see someone, you just smile.
Yeah.
But now it's just like you just falling asleep. Do you know what I mean? You just look like you're closing your eyes. But yeah,
I think it's definitely different.
Yeah, it's all going to be a part of this new norm that they keep talking about. The new normalities of life.
Yeah, I think it's just different, really.
Yeah, I'm quite intrigued to see what it's going to be like, though.
Yeah.
Like, what is this, like, new normality going to be like? Like, because I've heard people say that, like, it's going to be, basically, you just have to be more precautious and, like, wear your face mask and have your hand gel. But what is life going to be like? Like, how is it going to be going into, like, your education systems and going to, I don't know, different events? Like, are you going to have to go to a party and, like, wear a mask? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how is it all going to, like,
I think it'll be a while before anyone can have any parties or clubs can open. Yeah. I think, especially with, like, dancing, you're quite close with people, like, when you're dancing. So, I think it'll be a while.
They've opened things like casinos, but I've heard that like
and like arcades.
Yeah, and but I've heard they're planning on like, I think it was on an advert I heard on Spotify, and it was like talking about we're soon going to be doing, like, talking about, like, soon there'll be concerts and stuff. And I was thinking, concerts? Imagine being in a mosh pit with a face mask. Like, that would be so scary. I think they need to hold up on that.
Yeah.
Because, like, that is, like, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
That's so, I just about can, like, walk past the shop, never mind, go and, like, go to a mosh pit or, like, a club. No,
I think it would just be too much, I think.
Yeah.
With the amount of people that go there, and it's just...
Yeah, and everyone's just on top of each other. It's,
yeah.
No. First of all, claustrophobic, and second of all, imagine you have to stay 2 meters away.
Yeah.
But, like, they've opened cinemas and they've opened theatres as well.
Yeah.
But you can sit, like, right next to people, or do you have to, like, space out?
I think you may have to, like, space out, or there'll be a couple of certain people on, like, each...
Oh, okay.
like, row of the cinema.
Okay.
I think it'll be alright if we were, like, I don't know, a festival in, like, a park or somewhere. Because it's outdoors.
Yeah.
You're not, and you can space out. You don't really have to be right next to each other.
Yeah.
But then again, it just all depends, really.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they like, cancelled quite a few festivals that was happening this year. Like, do you know what actually quite, like, amazed me? Is the fact that, like, there's no Olympics.
Yeah.
Like... There's no Olympics. Obviously, they wouldn't do it with the coronavirus, but that was, like, such a significant event. I was like, that's gonna happen in 2020, and it's like, it's a big year. Do you know what I mean?
Did you see the logo as well? It was so nice. It literally looked perfect. Now they've got to change it.
Oh, because it had 2020 in it.
Yeah, it was like the circles of the Olympics.
Oh.
But obviously the 2 and the 0 were, like, incorporated into it. It was really good.
That would have looked so nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just all the really big events, just, yeah, all cancelled.
Yeah, like, your GCSEs and, like, examinations and everything. And you see, like, in, like, America where, like, everyone's graduating and they're just in, like, their cars and stuff, social distancing. Like, I think it's really sad, though, that, like, a lot of, like, the significant events won't be happening. Like, I know it's not a British thing, but prom, that's not going to be happening. But I wasn't going to go, but for the people that wanted to go, like, they seem devastated.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have brought dresses.
Yeah.
And, like, shoes, really expensive, like, things to wear, and they can't go, so...
Yeah, it's quite sad because it's a waste of money, because by the time you can have a prom, or
everyone would have moved on.
Yeah,
really.
you probably won't even fit in the dress anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably, and they do tailor them kind of things, don't they? Like, to fit that person. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
But I think definitely school has had a massive impact on everyone, younger children and, like, older as well, especially, like, people who've been doing GCSEs. They don't get to actually have the experience of sitting in the hall and actually taking their GCSE.
I'm so happy about it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about it, though.
I think I'm happy that I don't get to sit exams, but then I'm actually, like, a bit sad as well, because you don't get to have that experience like everyone else did. Like, you know, the nervous, like, almost nervous, happy.
Yeah.
That before you go into the exam, you're all a bit like, oh, are we going to do okay? What's it going to be like in this exam? I think that's quite, like, a big factor. And, like, results day as well. It's not going to be the same. You get it either in email or...
That's how I'm getting mine. Mine are going to be coming through email. But I think it's going to be strange, like, something just coming to you via, like, the internet. That is not... I know, like, futuristic and we're going into a new era, but, like, I thought I was going to go there and pick it up. Obviously run back out with my results, but, like, but I still thought I was going to, like, collect it myself. But that is strange. But I think with how stressful it was getting near the end, not taking the exam probably was a good thing, especially for me, because I know that, like, it's a strain on, like, a lot of, and most of the people that are our age, it's a strain on their mental health. Yeah. Because it's a really, really stressful time, and everybody's pressuring you. If it's not, like, the teachers, it's your head of year, it's like your head of year, maybe, like, it's your family, do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, what you gotta do, or have you been revising, or, like, everyone's just, like, asking you loads of different questions, and, like, making sure, I know they want the best, but it is a lot.
Yeah, it is. I think everyone was getting really stressed around those times, and I think it's just I don't really know. Maybe it was for the best, like, I'm not sure. I'm not very good. I know all the work, but I'm not very good at exams because I just panic.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good idea for me. Well, obviously, good idea for me. It was good for me.
And it's the same with higher education as well, because like universities and like colleges and sixth forms, none of them were doing their exams either. So no, it's not like it's just a certain people. Like, it's not just certain people; it's all of them. And I don't know. Did they do the SATs?
I'm not sure.
So I don't know whether they did the SATs, which is for like younger years. It's just like, is it 11?
Yeah.
11-year-olds, yeah.
10-year-old, 11-year-olds? I'm not sure.
Depends on what month you're born. But yeah, I think not having the examinations, especially with everything that was going on, even if they did it and they was like, oh, you have to social distance, it would be even more stressful.
Yeah.
So I think
having to come into the hall or wherever you sit in the exam, separated really.
Yeah. It was for the best. It was for the best not to do it. But now, giving somebody that authority, like a teacher that like you don't even really talk to after, you just come in and sit your lessons and stuff, giving them the authority to determine whether, you know, you go on to do what you want to do in life, or, you know, you have to find a different route, which will be more difficult because you haven't planned for it, is quite it's quite a big thing, really. Like, I never thought I'd have to give that person so much authority in my life, but now, like, I'm like, okay, my English teacher or like my biology teacher, they've got that power over us, which is scary, because it's like, you don't really know them that well, for them to be like, oh well, because I didn't give you a good grade, now you're not allowed to, you know, do what you want to do, or I've gave you the best grade, so you will. So it's hard.
Yeah, I think it's difficult. They've got to like they've got to weigh out what's the word?
Okay, so weigh
out all what we've done so far in class, as well as our mocks and everything, and put them together to make a final grade, really. And it's just a bit
it's
mad.
It's really crazy how like all of this has changed. Like 1 year ago now, I definitely would not think I'd be right here.
No, same.
But disregarding like all like examinations in school and everything, I wouldn't be thinking that because of the different things that I've done to lead up to where I am now. Like, quarantine has been full of so many like mixed emotions, but one of the things I am grateful for is the fact that I've had so many different things that I've been able to do. Yeah. Like, start this podcast. That was a job in itself. Like, all like the branding and like the making of it, like
the logo,
exactly
that went into it.
Like finding the right like software and everything, like all of that. That was like a job in itself, and doing that has I'm really grateful for it. Like, I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that I've done that I wouldn't have been able to do due to like coronavirus. I think like decorating rooms and like spending more time with my family.
Yeah, really building that relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially like because like when you're in like your day-to-day life, and you're like go to school or like come back home, you spend most of your time in education or sleeping. So when it's the time when you get to just spend time solely with them, it's great because you get to build that relationship that you never thought you would have.
Yeah, definitely. I think I feel like, especially like, I don't really know how to word it. I think as well, it's been hard, like seeing like with the relationships with like family, you can't see them really, especially with like grandparents. And
that was quite
a big
it was hard because
really.
I remember the first time I got to see like my grandparents after they started to let us go back to see like people over a certain age. It was it was weird because I felt kind of rude because I was like standing so far away. Like normally I'd run in and like give my grandparents a nice hug and be like ask them how they're doing or whatever. But I couldn't because you had to stand so far away. Like you had to stand like away and you had mask on and like make sure you wash your hands like 100 times.
Yeah, I think that's like a massive thing. I feel like it's really strange. I think like when we go to see them, you go stand at the door and you just have to wave and like you're talking to them and it's just I just feel like quite rude. Like usually I'll go in and I'll like sit down and have a good conversation, but now we can't even do that. You can't go into the house. Like, yeah, I just think.
But I'm glad it's all like kind of easing down a bit more now.
Yeah, especially with like the social bubbles, and like you can share like go into one other person's household, or you can give them hugs and everything.
How do you think it's been like in regards to like your friendships?
I think now I feel like I speak to a lot more people. Well, I used to speak to a lot of people at school, especially. And then when we went into lockdown, I actually figured out who were my closest friends and who carried on talking to me and just like having like conversations, even just like a how are you, blah blah blah. I just think I'm trying to figure out I
feel like it kind of filters it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like who's a school friend and like who's like your real friends, who's your really close friends, and you really get to see because like it's not that it's kind of like they're showing their true colours because it's not that they was fake, it's just that they wasn't as close as they would have seemed.
Yeah. Because
you have so much social interaction with them, you're talking all the time, you don't realise like are you really friends or is this just like are we just talking because we're like in each other's faces all the time?
Yeah, or even just you got a class with them, so we're just talking. We're not actually like friends, we're just acquaintances. Yeah.
I think it's kind of good because now I know that I know who's like I'm really, really close with or who's just like who was just there for like school, but it's okay to have friendships like that. It's actually healthy. Yeah. Like you don't need to have, not every single friend that you make needs to be your closest best buddy forever, like because you're not going to stay friends with everyone forever. That's just not how it works. Otherwise we'd be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think as well with like friends, I think like little, like for example my sibling, he missed all like his friends and that and like meeting up with them as well. I think everyone's like almost missing the like interaction with everyone, and I think you don't have to be like, I don't really know how to say it.
I think my sister was the same. She hasn't seen any of her friends, but imagine not seeing any of your friends for 5 months.
Yeah, I feel like for everyone like our age, we have social media to like talk to people, even if they're not like your closest friends, you can still talk to them. Whereas like the younger generation, they don't really have that as much.
Yeah, they don't have as many like ways and like opportunities to speak to people. Like my little sister, she doesn't really like talk to people through like her phone, or she doesn't have a phone, but you know what I mean? Like you know how like say we wanted to talk to each other, we just like give each other a ring or whatever. Like people that are really, really young don't do that.
Yeah.
And like when we were say their age, we'd be like going on like play dates or like going to see our friends, or like I think when I was like in like the last year of primary school, I used to email my friends, you know. I know it sounds antique, but like at the time that was like what I used to do. But now like it's different. Like there's less ways. It's more like communication for like younger people to like go out and like have fun or like meet up with each other. It's through parents. So if your parents are like not like in constant contact with each other, it's gonna be harder for you to like meet your friends and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely think that.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely been hard for different people in different ways. Like, I think, especially with, like, when you hear it on the TV or, like, the news and it's telling you about how many people are dying every day, it's really horrible, and it was really, really depressing.
I think as the numbers, like, go up as well, like, you keep seeing an extra, like,
hundreds or 1,000, and it's like, but it's what I think people need to understand more is that they're not just a figure. It's not like the 121st person. That person meant so much. It could have been like somebody that there was like their best friend, or like their family member. You know what I mean? It could have been anybody, and that digit, how they like to like put it, like, oh yeah, another person, could have meant the world to someone else. So I just think that, like, they kind of like just put everyone in like a cluster, like, oh yeah, it's been like 3,000 people, but really and truly every last one of them really meant something to somebody else.
So how do you think that quarantine has will affect us in the future? So, like,
I think that before, like, when we used to go to like school and everything, we obviously didn't need to wear masks or anything like that. But now, because of everything that's happened, we're going to be wearing them a lot more. It's going to be like interactions with people is going to be probably more at a distance. I don't think anyone will be saying bless you when I sneeze anymore.
Yeah. Everyone's just going to slowly walk away.
Literally. Like, the other day I was walking and I was like about to like, I had it like, you know when you really like need to cough?
Yeah.
But I just had to hold it because I was like, people, the FBI is going to come and just like, just going to come and like have a raid, like, because I was like, I felt like it was illegal to cough.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want people to be like...
You get the stares and like, oh my gosh, she's got coronavirus.
And it's like, no, there's such thing as just like a cough or a cold. Like, it still is a thing. But I think that's going to be incorporated into life after coronavirus.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's going to be really different. Even just like in jobs, really.
Yeah.
With like, say, I don't know, like office jobs, where you like sat quite close on a computer, or like, I don't know, like builders when they're like building. Yeah. I think it'll be really, really different. Yeah,
and like gardeners and things like that.
Yeah.
That it'll be like, so say if there's a group of people doing it at the same time, it's like, you work on that patch and I'll work on the other. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it is gonna be really different. I'm kind of, I don't know how to feel about it. Like,
yeah, almost like nervous because you don't know what is in the future. You can't see that how it's going to be like.
That does, like, I don't know, it makes me feel a bit weird.
Yeah.
It's like, because you don't know what's going to happen. It's like you really want to know, like, you need to know what's happening, but not knowing is just I don't know, it's kind of like you kind of got a blind eye to it, but I'm sure when it happens we'll just gradually go into it. It's not going to be like a shock because we're slowly getting into it as we are now.
Yeah.
I think before quarantine, how we was and how like I acted and stuff is kind of different to how I am now.
Yeah.
At the start, I was like, okay, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to be a fitness fanatic. I'm going to read a book. I actually did a list. I did a list of things that I wanted to do. I think, what else was on there? There was, definitely fitness fanatic was on there. Read a book, write a journal, and I never actually used to read before. Like, I didn't, obviously, like, you read, like, the text and stuff in school, but, like, I never used to, like, sit down and be like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to read today. And I will do that now. Like, I'll sit down and just read.
Yeah, I think you can be more, like, relaxed. You've got loads more time on your hands. you just can do what you've always been wanting to do, really.
Okay, the fitness fanatic kind of did die down.
After a couple of weeks.
Because at the start we was doing exercise every day after the clap. But yeah, I'm kind of fine about that. I'm fine about that.
But, we don't really need to get back into
that. But it was amazing how much I thought I could do in it. Even though it's been is it 6 months? 5-6 months now?
Yeah, I think so.
It's still some of the things I still haven't even done, but it's still amazing. How much I was it looked like a tiny list, but it's amazing how I didn't do a lot of them things. But the time has actually flown by.
Yeah, I think it's it was important for everyone to just relax. Really, you don't have to do, especially before quarantine, before lockdown. I was always trying to do everything all the time.
Yeah.
So then as soon as we went into lockdown, I was like, what do I do now? I used to have so many hobbies that I do, and I'm just I've got nothing to do. I can actually chill, I can watch Netflix.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the lockdown? DM us at KeepingItCentral.
Or email us on KeepingItCentral@gmail.com.
Check out our new social medias such as
Pinterest and TikTok.